Hello, everybody, and welcome back to College Station, Texas for another edition of Off Campus with Lance and Asher. Asher Wallman alongside Lance Ringler. 72 holes are in the book, and wouldn't you know it, Lance, we had to wait to the very last ounce of sunlight to crown our national champion. But guess what? The UCLA Bruins finally get over that hump, and they are crowned victorious.
They did, Asher. They beat the sun going down and won the national championship. It ended up being a good finish, and props to Kerry Forsyth and the UCLA Bruins winning the national title here in College Station, Texas.
Now, Lance, at one point, the Purdue Boilermakers did overcome that 7-shot deficit and took the lead by 1. However, some unfortunate things happened down the stretch for Purdue and Devin Browse.
Tia Hoffmeister signed an incorrect scorecard, got DQ'd. It actually only cost the Boilermakers 2 shots, so I don't know if you can really say that it played a big role, although Maudemy, LeBlanc, and Devin made a decision on the final hole to go for it. Maybe the decision wouldn't have been the same, but, nevertheless, the Boilermakers come up a little bit short. Great run, great effort. It's 2 years in a row where a team like Purdue challenged to win a national championship, and I don't think anybody would have thought that would have happened a few years ago.
Lance, let's get back to our champions, UCLA. They've been in this position so many years, so many times in a row now. But guess what? They got over the hump. How did UCLA finally get that championship?
Well, I think they did it with depth. Their entire starting lineup, Kerry Forsyth talked about after the round how all 5 players any given week could be the number 1 player. All 5 players we've been talking about all week are in the top 34 in the rankings. And this team is just solid from top to bottom. And over 72 holes, it showed.
As you can imagine, the Bruins were all smiles after the championship, but also their coach and some players were relieved.
I'm just really happy, and I'm grateful that the girls were able to keep it together out there because it was we weren't playing well in the beginning, and they were awesome. So very grateful and very relieved.
It's awesome. Like, the past few years, we've had amazing years, amazing teams, but we just haven't quite been able to bring it together at the end. So to really peak at the right time feels really good.
I'm so happy for my team. We've worked so hard, all those practices, all those extra workouts. I'm just so happy we're able to pull it off today.
Great win for the Bruins. Lance, let's talk now about those runner-up, the Purdue Boilermakers, because once again, Purdue puts themselves in a position to win, and they're always that forgotten top team we don't want to talk about in nationals.
Yeah, and it's because it's Purdue. It's West Lafayette, Indiana. No one expects a school from the Big Ten, I shouldn't say the Big Ten, but from a place where there's no sunshine half the year maybe, to be in that situation. And we got to get over that because Devin Browse and the Purdue Lady Boilermakers have proven year in and year out that they are a threat. And, hats off to them. It's just an amazing accomplishment. It's an amazing thing to say for college golf in general because a lot of programs can look at Purdue, see what they've done, try to model themselves after that. And who knows, with some good luck, some good recruits, they too can maybe do what Purdue's doing here in the last 5-6 years.
Purdue came up just a little bit short, but Coach Devin Browse knows his program is on the map in women's college golf.
There are 3 schools that have been to the NCAA championship for 12 straight years, and we're one of those 3 schools. So, to do that in our climate, I think is noteworthy. We have to fish for the big net when we recruit compared to some of the Sun Belt schools, but it's still golf, and the players still have to play well, and so we're going to keep firing at it and hopefully figure out ways to get better.
UCLA is the team champion, Purdue's runner-up. Lance, interesting development unfolded here today for the individual championship. It was an LSU Tiger, but it wasn't the Tiger that's been ranked number 1 for most of the year in the Golf Week Sagarin rankings, Megan McChrystal. Instead, it was freshman Austin Ernst.
Yeah, amazing. I'll tell you what's the most amazing thing about her winning the national championship this week, Asher, is the fact that she shot 66 in the second round to pop up on the leaderboard and turn everybody's heads. Then, the third round, a 77. Figured she was out of it, right?
Yeah.
66 again today, and that speaks volumes and should give her a ton of momentum, a ton of confidence going into next year. Someone we need to keep an eye on.
How surprising, though, is it that we see a freshman like Ernst take down a golf course like Traditions when we had so many other big-name players here this week?
Well, I think it speaks volumes about where college women's golf was this year, Asher. We didn't have a marquee player. I mean, Carlota Saganda was maybe the one that everyone looks to carry that banner on the LPGA Tour in the future out of this class or out of this grouping. So I think it just speaks to the parity in women's college golf as players is just, we could probably play this tournament 20 times, Asher, and we might realistically have, 18 different winners? Maybe even 20. It's just there's that many good players out there, or they're that equal.
Lance, another season is in the books, but of course, before we go, we got to make some predictions for next year. Yeah. Who you got?
UCLA. They got everybody back with Gloria Yang, and I just, like I said, for a lot of reasons that they were deep this year. Now they have the confidence. It's a program that expects to win national championships. It's a place where champions are expected. And I think that this will just carry on. And, you know, Kerry Forsyth said they have a lot of seconds. Now the program now has 3 wins. And, yeah, UCLA.
Just to be a little bit different, I'm not going to say UCLA. I'm not going to say.
You should just go with me one time.
I'm not going to say Purdue either. I'm going to go with one team that really showed us something this week, and that's the Bayou Bengals, LSU. All year long I've said LSU can only play well if Megan McChrystal plays well. She didn't play well in Lance. They had a shot. If Megan McChrystal played half as well as she played in the fall preview, LSU could have been atop that leaderboard. Didn't happen. They're going to have to replace her anyways. I look for the LSU Tigers to surprise us all next year.
And something else you've been talking about, the power shifted back to the west maybe a little bit, so now you think it's coming back east.
It's all about balance. All right, well, Lance, another championship is in the books, my friend. Lance and I are now headed to Stillwater, Oklahoma for the men's national championship, so be sure to continue to log on to golfweek.com and to watch us off campus with
Lance
and Asher.